Hello and welcome back or welcome to my channel. For those of you that don't know, my name is Lotte, and in today's video we're going to be talking about why you need to scrap your January resolutions and start making long-term sustainable goals. So the reason for this is I've been reflecting on resolutions and goal making as you do throughout January, and I've come to the decision that resolutions are just not the way forward. If we look at the definition of resolution, it literally means a firm decision to do or not to do something, whereas the definition of goal is essentially an aim for a desired result. Now, the key difference between these two is that a goal is a desired result. It's something you want to work towards, but it's an aim, so it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get there. Whereas a resolution is basically saying, absolutely, this is what I'm going to do, no matter what. But in reality, life sometimes gets in the way, things happen, things change, and your goals change. Whereas with resolutions, they can't really change because it's a firm decision. Hence why I'm here to tell you how to set long-term goals that can be adapted and changed according to life and different challenges that may come your way, or essentially different outcomes. Like throughout the year, your view is not going to be exactly the same as it was at the beginning of the year. So those resolutions need to become goals so that they can be adapted. And today we're going to talk about how you can do that in the most effective way possible so that you can actually see long-term results for long-term goals. The main thing when setting long-term goals is knowing exactly where in your life you feel there needs to be a change or some kind of improvement. So I think the best way to go about this is to sit down and split your life up into different sections of things that matter to you. So this can be things like academic, exercise, food, productivity, spirituality, religion, whatever that may be in your life that matters to you, and to work out those different sections so that you can set goals that relate to each one, so that you don't end up with some kind of overarching goal to improve yourself, but you don't really know how you're going to get there. So for me personally, I like to split it up into my academics, into exercise and healthy eating, and then I include things like yoga, spirituality, reading, so that I can make a goal for each one. So this can obviously work for your short-term goals. However, I think for the sake of this video, because we're focusing on long-term goals, I would recommend doing all of this at once so that you can really work out where some of them may be overlapping. So for example, if your overarching goal is to have a healthier lifestyle, you want to make sure you're breaking that up into the different segments to allow you to create a healthier lifestyle. Once you've got those sections of your life sorted out and written down, well, you don't have to write them down if you don't want to. I think personally it helps to write them down so you've got something tangible to look on and reflect on. Then it's really crucial that people always talk about goals as in looking forwards, but sometimes you need to look back and reflect on why you actually want those goals. So what has put you in a position where you think you need to change or you need some kind of improvement? And in doing so, this involves looking at things that are new in your life. So do you want to learn how to cook? Do you want to learn a new language, music, etc.? Or is it something that you feel like you've let go of? So a good example of this would be healthy eating. Have you started to eat really unhealthy and you want to bring that back into your life? And by doing this, again, it can really help to establish these long-term goals of whether you're just starting something, so it needs to be a much more realistic goal, or if it's something that you've previously had and that is attainable with certain life adjustments. And again, doing this can really make it seem a lot less overwhelming trying to change your life around and create these goals, because it just makes it a lot more realistic and suitable to your life and what you've been through and what you're capable of achieving. When doing these reflections, it's much easier as well to work out the core effect of basically what you want to achieve from your goal. So if you want to eat healthier and you want to do more exercise, why do you want to do that? Do you want to feel better about yourself? Do you want to change your body? All of those different reasons essentially why you want to have that incorporated into your life. And in doing so, again, that makes it a lot easier to adapt the goals according to your ultimate aim. And again, the great thing about goals as opposed to resolutions is these can change over time. So going back to the healthy eating example, maybe you start out by wanting to lose weight, but then once that's achieved, what's next? With a resolution, it's basically a decision to do something. So then once you've done it and then it's over. Whereas with a goal, you can adapt it and change it according to your needs and your progress. So if you lose weight, but then you want to gain muscle or you want to gain gym progress, how are you going to do that? How are you going to adapt that long-term goal? Once you have had the opportunity to reflect on why you want to incorporate that goal and what the ultimate aim that you want from it is, then it makes it much easier to start setting small short-term goals within that long-term goal. So for example, if you want to eat healthier, why don't you try and cook one healthy meal a week and then write down that recipe so that then you can try it again the next week and learn another recipe the following week, so that eventually you'll have 7 weeks worth of 7 recipes that you can then cook every day of the week. So that's just one example of how that could be incorporated. Another example is if you want to get more into exercise, why don't you do 1 exercise video a week or 2 exercise videos a week? Something small and realistic that you can actually achieve. And if you set a time scale to it, so I'm sure many of us have heard of SMART goals, they use them a lot in school. So these are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. So the importance of it being time-based is so that you can actually reflect on your progress when you reach that point, and then you can set another goal. So what I'm trying to get at here is a long-term goal is basically made up of lots of short-term goals. So you've got to be able to see progress, otherwise you're just going to get tired of your goal. If you're just constantly working towards something that's completely unrealistic, you will give up because you're human and you're not going to be able to just keep sticking at something if you're not seeing any progress. So it's really important that long-term goals are realistic and can be adapted along the way. Whilst considering the importance of being realistic with your goals, it's also important that you're kind to yourself and realistic with yourself about how tough the last few years have been. Maybe you're not as productive as you used to be pre-COVID, maybe you don't exercise as much as you used to, and that's okay, because the fact that you've actually realised that you need to make a change, the fact that you're watching this video and wanting to learn how to set long-term goals, you're already halfway there. So be proud of that fact, try and set these goals, be open to the fact that they may need to change and you may need to adapt them. But the biggest thing is that you're able to break up your life into different sections, realize why you want to make a change, and begin to reflect on how you can incorporate that change. So what can you change this week, today, right now, that will allow you to be one step closer to achieving that goal? Forget the resolutions, leave them behind, or take the resolutions and turn them into long-term goals, because your resolutions are not going to get you anywhere if you're not open to the fact that they may need to change and that you will need to be flexible at some point. I really hope you found that little video helpful. It was only short, but I thought it was so important to bring up, especially as we've just recovered from the longest month of the year, January, and now we're into February, so it's a good time to forget about all the January blues and all the overthinking that we're forced to do, and enjoy February and enjoy our new long-term goals that are actually going to make us feel happy with ourselves and proud of our progress. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon, and have a lovely day.